Competitive. Things got intense in a good way and had some good work for just about everybody. Injuries for the week. I know everybody wants to know. Those guys that got banged up in the game, they have worked this week. They have practice. Obviously, we limit them because we don't want to do anything to keep them from playing on Saturday. But Diamador and CJ and Troy, they've been doing their work, but we just limit them as it relates to their particular injury. Also, of course, as it relates to Brendan Schooler, we he has elected to grad transfer, and we support him and his choice, and we move on. Okay. Now that being said, open to questions.
Was that a surprise for you guys, or
What's that?
was Brendan a surprise for you guys?
We
or-
just move on.
Okay.
With Troy, when you're playing with the thumb like that, I mean, you mentioned management in practice. There's something, I mean, you got to talk to him going into a game, and you got to adjust to anything he does or kind of his mindset going in to know that he's got the finger that could be banged up.
Well, I think if you do, then I think you really kind of limit a guy, and you start changing what he is and how he does things. I think guys like that have played such a long time; they naturally adjust to anything that they may have. So, but we just gotta, we're really careful during the week to make sure that we don't have any setbacks.
On Saturday, you made an adjustment. You talked about being kind of stubborn and being able to kind of come out of that. What sort of communication processes do you have in game with whether it be Marcus and just going about putting together your plan and being able to kind of adapt
Sure.
out of it?
Well, we were close on a couple runs. When you run the ball against a bare front and you're running to the open side, the split side, is there's going to be a crease. It's just going to open quickly and close pretty quickly. If you hit it, you've got a ways to run because you saw how they play their safety. The post safety is about 20, 25 yards deep. It's very unique. And we were right on the cusp of breaking a couple of those. But since one of them led to a negative run and a couple to a 1 yard or maybe 2 yard run, it was time to close it up a little bit, right? Put a tight end on the ball. Sometimes too, Marcus Aurora did a great job, seeing some things from up top and communicating with the coaches. And the players were great in communication to make the adjustments we had to go to a different personnel group and to run the football.
Brendan, Mario, is redshirt ever a discussion point at all?
We're moving on, brother.
How does it change? How does it impact the receiver position as far as Spencer was there, now
Well,
he's back, and
yeah.
it looked like David still
But
on
those guys have
defense.
been all getting reps. I think, every single receiver on the roster and the two deep and beyond, they've all been getting reps. There's probably obviously there's a couple more reps in store for whoever in practice earns it. Felt that those guys, they've just been practicing really, really well. And it seems like every single week they just get a little bit better. The timing and the precision of the passing game improves. So it's fun to watch. I mean, they're competing at a really high level. Brian Addison has done a really good job and gotten better. Jawan really looks like he's healthy now, and I actually just spoke with him after he looked like he was really healthy. Josh Delgado doesn't get mentioned, but Josh does a really good job. Spencer's going to continue, playing a little bit of everything. He has now learned so much offense that there's flexibility in him as a tight end and him as a wide receiver. So, and then we got to develop Patrick Herbert some more as well. So
But David's sticking on defense.
Dawood is defense, and he's staying on defense. But again, I know we gave him props last time. I think we should again. That guy's about as unselfish as it gets, man, and really picked up right where he left off on defense and doing a great job on special teams.
We saw Waters and Behoit go in practice with pads. Are they getting closer to being in the discussion of rotating into that receiver spot?
Yeah, I don't know when they'll be ready to rotate. And that's a lot of missed time. You're talking about all the way since camp, so they missed a lot of the installs, a lot of the base concepts that went in. But in terms of them physically running around, it's great to watch them because they are athletic. They are, they look like they're going to be really good football players, and they're eager to get out there. I mean, that's the last thing you want when you're a freshman, right? Go out there, you're all excited to show how you can help the team, and you get hurt. So, really excited to get those guys back. I think another week, 2, 3, and they'll be helping us out.
Coach, you're coming off a rivalry game, and then you got a team that this has beaten you guys lately. How do you control, or do you need to manage the emotions of this team heading into Saturday's contest?
Well, to me, this is as big as a rivalry game as anything else. And, I know I provide boring interviews for you guys, and I apologize, but it's the most important game because it is the next game. And that's just the way we operate. That's been our mindset. I mean, our team is fully aware of the fact that nothing but our very best is going to be good enough on Saturday. Nothing. And because of that, preparation is as intense and as dialed up as it is. And that's why our guys have, we're really working all the time at getting on edge and staying on edge so we can work at our highest level.
Mike Pilati's being inducted into the Oregon Hall of Fame this week, and I know you guys speak fairly regularly. What's that relationship kind of meant to you in your time here, and what have you kind of been able to learn from it?
Well, I mean, Coach Bellotti, he's been awesome. I mean, he's done such great things here. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always trying to learn something. If I'm recruiting and I'm out and I get a chance to watch practice, I'll deviate from the prospect, and because there's a particular drill going on in the corner that might have some application to our team. I mean, it happened 3 times last year. Really good drills that, man, why did I think of that? So guys like him, just extremely helpful. He's a great sounding board, and always it's good to be able to talk and just be candid, be honest, bounce some ideas off of. And he's seen a lot of ball, and he's seen a lot of situations. And I don't think you could ever, as a coach, draw enough from guys that have experience, especially here at Oregon, as this is now being a 3rd year here. And every day we entrench ourselves in more and more. I mean, it's Stockton. We love it. We love it here. But I just get a chance to learn, so.
How did DJ and Mikhail come through, you think, for being thrown out there and filling in against Washington?
Yeah, those guys are good players now. I know obviously Mikhail made the play at the end of the game. DJ's been playing really good football all year long. I know they got him the one time or whatnot, but aside from that, I mean, both those guys, we count those guys as being able to go in there and play an entire game and not have much of a drop-off. I mean, and both true freshmen, which is, really amazing. Big future for those guys.
Do you think Diamador will be able to go on Saturday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He practiced full go. I mean, he was of all the guys, we have a plan for each one. His plan was the one that had none or very little limitations.
I know you don't want guys just to go through an injury, but it's happened this season and it's forced a younger guy to play maybe earlier. And did that kind of help you for those moments like last weekend for Mikhail and for DJ, where they've played a lot and more than maybe normal than a freshman has at that point?
I never expected to have this many injuries, to be honest with you. But the blueprint that we use, it's a really high gear developmental type of regimen. It really is. I mean, the amount of repetitions that our guys get, guys that have gotten here for the first time, guys that we've been fortunate enough to get here as walk-ons, they get the same amount of reps during camp and during spring ball that anybody else does. So, I mean, the repetition is always the most valuable thing, right? So our coach has done a really good job developing guys, and we want to, for amongst other things, we want to be known as a program that develops at the highest level, and so far it's paying off well.
Any concern, Mario, about for Justin when he leaves the building, that while he's around a lot of high character guys who live with him and stuff, that there are guys a lot of these guys are hurt, or now Brennan leaving, that there's a lot of guys who have a lot of other things going on around him when he's not on the field or with you at practice. There's a human side to all this, that whether it's Jake or Brennan or Charlie, there's just a lot of guys going through a lot of stuff that he's around.
And it's a good point, it's a good question, and the best part of the human side is that his DNA, the way he was raised, his goals, really, they override anything and everything external. He's as driven as you'll ever see. We got a chance to be around him on a daily basis because he's taken more credits than most doctors, right? He's had 14 diplomas or whatever he has, so he's in the building all the time. I told him we should probably get him a desk and a locker upstairs. So I don't at all with him. I don't at all with the guys in the leadership council. You always have to keep an eye out for things. I mean, you'd be crazy not to, because that's your job, that's your obligation, teaching moments wherever you could find them. But Justin Herbert, the rest of those guys, I gotta keep them from overworking. That's it. That's about it with him.
He clinicked with you in 2011 down at FIU.
He did.
What did you gain from that experience?
He did. Actually sold out the clinic. It was the best clinic we had. He was he's obviously a great football mind. He came up and it was really gracious of him. Gave us his time and clinics for all the high school coaches down there, and got into everything from philosophy to football, run game, pass game, and then he came out and watched practice with us for a little bit. So it was a really good visit.